you could say spoiled for Midnight Heat. This is a matchup that they were wanting for weeks and weeks against FTR. That was what the marquee said.
Call it months and months, call it years and years. The comparisons have gone back that far.
Absolutely. This is a match they had circled on their calendar for God knows how long. And it was an act of God that kept this match from happening this evening. Hurricane Helene causing all sorts of damage. And Prestige Wrestling's card tonight no different. But what a consolation. What a course correct. You couldn't get FTR, but you got three other letters that are just as important. SCU. And that's no way to treat a viral sensation.
You know, you talk about three letters, the similarities. I mentioned that SCU teaming tonight for the first time in 4 years. The last time Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky tagged was against none other than Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler of FTR. So things really coming together in a very cosmic sense here tonight, though Midnight Heat disappointed, feeling slighted by the world, losing out on that opportunity to face FTR. This is about as good of a make good as you get, Brian. I'm not sure if anyone could be displeased with this.
Certainly,
except for Eddie Pearl and Ricky Gibson.
No one's more upset than these guys because they had something to prove tonight. They wanted to show the world that they could not just hang with the best, but beat the best.
Put it back. Eddie Pearl.
And so now I'm going to tell you this, Jordan, that they may be facing, looking across the ring from Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, two world-class wrestlers in their own right, but deep down, they are going to visualize Cash and Dax with every punch, with every kick, with every hold, because they, deep down in their souls,
I don't know if that's smart strategy, Brian Zane. SCU are a very different tag team than FTR. Frankie Kazarian saying anything you can do, I can do better. Eddie Pearl. Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, though as prestigious as FTR, as accomplished as FTR, are a very different tag team. So if you're Pearl and Gibson, you can't hope to win going into this match with the same strategy you had when you were expecting FTR.
No, and I will say this, that the Midnight Heat are certainly thrown for a loop, taking on a team completely different than what they had planned for, what they had hoped for and strategized. But keep in mind, SCU, they have not teamed together in 4 honking years, and that is going to affect the chemistry of anyone. I don't care how good you are.
Listen, Frankie Kazarian may not have teamed with Scorpio Sky in 4 years, but he has spent those 4 years very, very busy, from AEW to TNA to right here in Prestige Wrestling. It's not the first time Frankie Kazarian has been a last-minute substitution for a Prestige event in collaboration with West Coast Pro. I think back to an incredible effort against Kevin Blackwood back at Savage Mode.
Absolutely.
Eddie Pearl sending Kazarian against the ropes, was going for the hip toss there, but Kazarian with the shoulders down. Oh, no.
Didn't get him.
Veteran of over 20 years here is Frankie Kazarian, putting that lengthy and wonderful career to good use against Eddie Pearl.
And star of such great films as Backyard Dogs.
Control of the arm here from Frankie Kazarian. I really think we're seeing this strategy, or perhaps lack thereof, this counterintuitive strategy from the Midnight Heat coming into play. They got Frankie Kazarian isolated right now, but they are wrestling this match as if they were wrestling FTR, and that will only take them so far. Cover, and a kick out from Kazarian.
Well, so far it seems to be working. You like that teamwork there, the fluidity by the Midnight Heat.
It's the commentator's curse. As soon as I say it, they, reverse the offense, reverse the tide of the match.
It gets us all, Jordan. And look at that arm drag, though.
That arm drag got Ricky Gibson, and we are right back at square one. Kazarian on top of Gibson, looking to get the shoulders down, and that is the expertise of a veteran like a Frankie Kazarian. Ricky Gibson tried to put the shoulders down to alleviate the pressure. It's human instinct. Nearly got himself counted down. There is no winning against SCU. Big round kick. And Scorpio Sky now the legal man.
Right. What a return it would be, a reunion for SCU.
Cover. The kick out.
For them to beat one of the greatest tag team champions that Prestige has ever seen, and just one of the greatest tag teams you will see in wrestling today, signed or unsigned.
Scorpio Sky telling me earlier on tonight that being with SCU took him from being a good independent wrestler to a great pro wrestler. It elevated his game so much and launched his career to the next level. And looking to make good on that love and admiration he has for his partnership with Frankie Kazarian by picking up a win here in his Prestige debut.
Of course, we can't forget Christopher Daniels in this equation. Of course, he was a vital part of SCU.
Frankie Kazarian actually telling me earlier on tonight that for a very long time he felt like CD was the veteran. The Fallen Angel was the one giving him all the tools of the trade and teaching him so much. And now Frankie Kazarian looking to rescue Scorpio Sky, but indeed accidentally turning referee Bradley's back, leaving the opening for the double team from the Midnight Heat.
Well, if he knew better, he would let Bradley focus on the match.
Again, it's emotion, and it's such an emotional night for SCU. Their first time doing this in 4 years. So much to prove, not only to the fans and the Midnight Heat, but to themselves. You can hardly blame Frankie Kazarian for letting that emotion get the best of him.
Like I said, it's emotion. It's a very short turnaround time to get ready for this matchup. Your first match together in 4 years. It's great to, I heard these guys in the back earlier today. They were reconnecting and they were just talking about shared things. Oh, what did you watch on Netflix this week? There's that. But then they actually have to get down to brass tacks and put in the work. And right now they're going to have to come from behind.
Yeah, Midnight Heat may have been expecting different opponents, but they were expecting to compete in a marquee match here tonight at Roseland all the same. The same cannot be said of SCU 24 hours ago. But now, Scorpio Sky with a stunner, escaping that headlock by any means necessary.
Good escape.
In comes Gibson.
Look at this now.
Ricky Gibson stopping the tag. He saw Scorpio Sky reaching for Frankie Kazarian, and he cut him off at the pass, dropping the elbow. Cover.
Nice elbow drop. Ooh. Not enough.
Again, very fundamental, simple wrestling here, Brian Zane.
And that's what it's really been about. That's been the key to the Midnight Heat's success for their entire run. They are not flashy. They are not... they're kind of like FTR in a way.
No flips, just fists.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's a successful style, and it's been very good to Ricky and Eddie.
Right now, Scorpio Sky with nasty shots, trying to escape, sent into the corner, and now Eddie Pearl back in this thing. Say what you will about the Midnight Heat. They're former Prestige Wrestling Tag Team Champions for a reason. I may not like the attitude and the rump shaking and the rule breaking, but they are an excellent tag team, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. And as they dominate Scorpio Sky, that much is clear.
What a show we've had so far tonight. These fans are still alive and just full of pep as we've got 2 more matches to go here, 2 championship matches. But folks, I think that the stakes in this match are about as big as any championship. Oh, look at that.
Of course, we saw the Prestige Wrestling Tag Team titles. Cover from Gibson. Kick out from Sky. Frankie Kazarian nearly inserted himself illegally there. We saw Sinner and Saint with a successful retention of the Prestige Wrestling Tag Team titles. You know that Los Suavecitos, your West Coast Pro Tag Team Champions, are watching at home. You gotta think the same is true of the DPW Tag Team Champions. Jake Something, Mike Bailey. If Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian are able to pull out a win here on a stage against the Midnight Heat, if the Midnight Heat were able to pull out a win over SCU, that would no doubt put them in line for potential championship opportunities at Prestige, DPW, West Coast Pro, or beyond.
I mean, you said it. I think a win for either of these teams is going to do wonders for their careers. Can you imagine?
Cover from Pearl.
Imagine if the Midnight Heat, hey, they can't beat FTR tonight, but what if they beat SCU?
Midnight Heat with such a successful year, more wins than losses, and they've been big wins over the likes of the Workhorsemen at Roseland 7, Dirty Breeze at Roseland 8, the Flamin' Aces 2.0 and Alive 3, Bad Magic at the Cascadia Wrestling Cup. The Midnight Heat indeed hot and unstoppable. Ooh. But as soon as I say it, commentators curse Scorpio Sky, cut him off the pass.
The Castle commentary curse.
Breaking the jaw of Ricky Gibson. Scorpio Sky needs a tag, Brian Zane.
Absolutely, it's do or die time for SCU, but look at the placement by Ricky Gibson. He's a smart one.
Not only are they smart, they are willing to travel the roads that SCU are not. They're willing to break and bend the rules. They have no regard for what is right as long as it gets them the victory. Case in point, big choke from Eddie Pearl.
That's right. Midnight Heat looking to finally prove all the doubters and the haters wrong in a matchup such as this.
Eddie Pearl now back to the headlock, back to that ground game. So fundamental, so traditional, but so effective. You talk about what it would mean for the Midnight Heat, Brian, to pick up a victory over SCU. Not only the inaugural AEW Tag Team Champions, former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and they are well on their way here. But Scorpio Sky again muscles his way back up. Shots to the gut, escapes the hold of Pearl.
Look at them go here. Now wait a minute. Again, some brilliant tactics employed here by Ricky.
Is it brilliant or is it cheating?
If it worked, it's brilliant.
It's not working now. Sky goes through and tags in Frankie Kazarian.
Now I am the one who is cursed.
The king of TNA cursing the Midnight Heat here.
Here we go. Kazarian, look at that.
Drops Eddie Pearl, and the Roseland Theater on fire. Drops the leg, guillotine style.
Look at the quickness of the former X-Division champion.
Scooping a slam.
Here we go.
Another springboard leg drop, this time to Pearl. Hooks the leg. But it's not enough.
Good resilience on display by Pearl.
Call it the X Division, call it the cruiserweight style, call it the junior heavyweight style, whatever it is, the 21st century variation of it was pioneered by Frankie Kazarian, who's now looking to lock in that chicken wing perhaps.
Not so fast, my friend. Look at that counter by Pearl into the neck breaker.
The Pearl has to capitalize. Here he goes. Hooks the leg. No. Frankie Kazarian spent minutes upon minutes upon minutes, not only waiting for this moment, but watching Scorpio Sky decimated by the Midnight Heat. Now, he's making him pay for it.
Absolutely. Now, SCU finally getting some of that precious momentum. This is the most they've had all matchup. Midnight Heat are winded and they are fading.
Though I'll point out, Scorpio Sky a non-factor here, only now returning back to their corner.
Oh!
Elbow from Kazarian, in comes Sky with a blind tag. Backstabber.
Ah, that cracked the back. Look out!
Big springboard neck breaker, big cover. Broken up by Pearl.
Man,
now Kazarian, trying to take Pearl out of the equation.
I could feel that from up here.
They're calling for the end, maybe thinking SCU later.
That's a move they've won championships with, Jordan.
Gibson's up, but Pearl makes the save for his partner.
Cuts him off. And how about this? Hot seat, backstabbeth.
Gibson, he's got the match won.
Ooh, man, it was almost backstabbeth that did him in.
You cursed them this time, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Fine, don't tell them that.
Scorpio Sky, Ricky Gibson, the legal men, but you wouldn't know it as Eddie Pearl reinserts himself once again, only to get dropped with a big DDT from Frankie Kazarian.
Dropping people like flies with the DDT, but look at that! The rebound into the backbreaker, my goodness!
Really zeroing in on the back of Frankie Kazarian. Ricky Gibson lands on his feet, but Sky ducks the line, does so again.
No!
Nasty collision. And you know, pardon the cheekiness, but no hair to cushion the blow. Two bald gentlemen.
I mean, I heard that smack. You can hear it all the way in Seattle.
Eddie Pearl with those donut eyes all glazed over. And now Kazarian knocking some sprinkles onto him here. Ricky Gibson trading shots with Scorpio Sky. This is a slugfest, Brian Zane.
Absolutely. We're getting past the graps and the holds and everything. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Who hits harder?
Well, the Midnight Heat do what they always do. They use their cheating and their dirty tactics and their nasty attitudes, and intentional or not, they made this personal. Right now, against Kazarian and Sky, it may be coming back to bite him in the ass.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, Kazarian just flung out of the ring.
Eddie Pearl and Ricky Gibson alone in the ring now with Scorpio Sky. Discretion of referee Bradley knows that no one here, least of all the competitors, want to see this match end in a double disqualification. Scorpio Sky caught with the enziguri from Pearl. Gibson got him on the shoulders.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on, Frankie Kazarian sweeping the leg of Eddie Pearl. Small package from Scorpio Sky.
Ooh.
Gibson gets the shoulder up.
You have to hand it to the Midnight Heat. They are not getting caught slipping just yet. There's a blind tag, I believe.
Sky catches the boot of Gibson. Kazarian.
Wait a minute.
Assisted. DDT hooks that leg. SCU victorious. Ow.
My goodness. I think Ricky Gibson's life flashed before his eyes there with that 2 count.
But ever the veteran, ever the ring tactician, Frankie Kazarian staying right on top of him. Not getting caught in the moment, tagging in Scorpio Sky and going for the kill. Ricky Gibson, SCU later. Cover.
That's it. Whoa!
Eddie Pearl.
Did you see that?
Oh, how could I see it? I have eyes, Brian Zane. Eddie Pearl grabbing referee Bradley, pulling him outside the ring. That would have been it. Ricky Gibson hasn't moved.
I mean, that should have been the match right there, but quick thinking by Eddie Pearl to grab the referee's leg.
Just as they did the Prestige Wrestling Tag Team titles, just as they did in matches against all the teams I listed. They're gonna steal this. No, not yet. Not like that.
It's gonna take a bit more than that to put Scorpio Sky away for certain. Oh, and this could be that.
Putting Scorpio Sky
hot seat
in the hot seat. Cover.
That is it.
No!
Here are your winners, Midnight Heat!
Yes!